Hi again, Guitar One. Hope everybody is safe and well. This again is the series of Class 3 videos. And again, I'm showing the first position natural scale, our bread and butter. And just a reminder, you will not find this complete scale in the Hal Leonard book. I think it's sorely an editorial oversight in that book. I believe it's on page 11. You'll see a halfway completed chart in Hal Leonard that only includes the treble strings, and we never see the bass strings or this whole diagram completed. So this is a great device for learning to read guitar in first position. And this is basically what we do all the way up the fretboard, is we get to know these different areas of the fretboard with each string going up to the 12th fret, providing the actual notes. That never changes. Those notes are the same all the way up. So when I place this Ode to Joy down for just a moment before I do the exercise that we did in the Zoom class, I'm going to look at the notes, and I'm going to look over here at what I'm dealing with on the sheet, and I can see that most of these notes are in this area here, and that I'll be using this portion of the guitar, the first, second, and third string. Okay, so if I look for that first note that's in the Ode to Joy, and I see the E, it's going to be the same E as I have up here, which is the first string open. And we can see that it's tabbed out for me already. And again, I did this during the Zoom video, but I'll walk through it one more time. The rhythm that is shown here is a dotted quarter note and an eighth note. That dotted quarter note actually gets 1.5 beats plus the next half a beat. So it's a full beat and a half, that being the and of 2, this flag note, and this being beats 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3. And that's the same type of rhythm that's shown down here, except for with the beam, we actually see the beat completely divided in half. 2 and 3, 4. So over here, we did not have anything being played on beat 2. Here we actually can see the 2 and the and of 2. Okay, and there's an explanation on the bottom of that page for that rhythm as well. So I've started looking at the tablature here. I've got open E, I go up to the space, I've got F, and then above, on the line, I've got a space, space, line, space, and I've got E, E, F, and G, the three notes that are basically E, F, and G, right up the first string, E, F, and G. Okay, so we've got them tabbed out that way, E, F, and G, and then we basically go back down the scale from G, down a whole step to F, down a whole step to E, and this is where we change strings. I can't go any lower than the E, and I switch over to the D on the second string, 3rd fret, and that's this portion here where I'm moving down of the first position scale. So I've got 3 going down a whole step, and then another whole a C before I go back up a whole step. So I've got D, C, C, D, and then I change strings back to open E, and D, D. You're going to see that later in this chapter too, that you are provided another Ode to Joy with the pitch class moved down a complete whole octave. So the letter names are all the same, but the position of the notes on the fretboard is different. If you look closely, the first line is almost identical to the second line. I've got E, E, F, G, G, F, E, change strings for D, C, C, D, which is 3rd fret, and then open, and then back to D on the 3rd fret of the B string, and 2 C's. So almost identical, but these last two measures are a little different. If I go over to measure 9, that's what the little number 9 there is for. I have another D, same note on the B string. Again, if I know where open B is, I can count to C, and then D, or even open G marked by the G clef, open G string, A on the 2nd fret, B open, C 1st fret, D 3rd fret of the 2nd string. If I move up, I have no more notes left on the B string, so I'd be moving up to the E string and then back down, skipping D and going all the way to C. This is the leaping I was talking about in the Zoom meeting as well. Leaping down instead of stepwise motion. Then I've got 3rd fret, D, open E, and F, open E, and C, up to D a whole step, up to the open E, F on the 1st fret, back down to E, and then changing strings to D 3rd fret, down a whole step to C, back up a whole step to D, and then there's our middle G there, where we've got the open 3rd string. And then Beethoven brings back this melody that walks up the scale, E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, D, C, C, and I will grab a guitar and just play that for you. You can just hear the audio here because the fingering is done on the tablature sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you take care of those half notes and whole notes when you're reading music. You want to take care of the long notes. It's so easy to cut them off and make them shorter than they will ring on the guitar. If you touch the note, it'll sound staccato and the rhythm won't ring the duration of the note. So make sure you let those notes ring and take care of them. I am going to do one more on this particular video. I'm going to do the other Ode to Joy I mentioned. I'm going to skip page 29, which is the Swedish folk song. I'll do that on the next video where I complete the rest of the tablature exercises. But I want to do these Ode to Joys back to back so you can see the difference. So if I lay over the next Ode to Joy here, you'll see that that E is in the top space, and this E is the middle E of the pitch class. Again, I'll refer back here. So the first Ode to Joy starts with this E right here. The second Ode to Joy starts with this E, and it's marked on the staff bottom line. All of the rest of the letter names follow suit. This has E, E, F, G, and this down one octave on the middle E has E, E, F, open G. So if I look at these notes, I do see some ledger lines. Remember the rule. If you see ledger lines, they must be played on either the 5th or 6th string. There's 2 ledger lines below the 2nd ledger line. If I memorize that the A string is on that 2nd ledger line, then I know this note has to be on the 6th string because it's below A in pitch. So we're actually seeing notes, if I refer one more time back here, We're seeing notes that are mostly in this area, middle of the fretboard, but we do see that low G 1 octave below the middle G as it was presented in the last piece. All the rhythms are the same and all the letter names are the same. The placement of the notes is different. So I'm going to fill this one in to finish this part of the video. So I've got E, E, F, G, middle G again, down to F, down to E, down to open D. Now those are all on the same string, the F, the E, and the D. The G was on the third string, and then notice I went backwards down the scale. I went from G to F to E to D, right down the scale. Again, the better you know that placement on your fretboard and practice it up and down, that'll just seem like a very simple stepwise motion. I can't go any lower than D here, so if I did go down, I would have to go to the next lowest note, D down to C, and that's where the ledger lines start. So you can see that ledger line there, and that's a C on the 3rd fret of the A string. As I go back up, I go to open D, and then to E, another E, and 2 Ds. The next line is almost identical again. I've got E on the D string, walking up to F, to open G, another open G, down to F, to E, to open D, and then I drop below the 4th string to the 5th string, 3rd fret, C, C, D, E, D, C, C. Okay, so notice that these notes are being tabbed out in the middle of the fretboard. As I go forward, I've got D, D, E, and then I skip strings. That ledger line again can't be on the 4th string. It's got to be on the 5th string. There's the D again at the bottom of the staff, an easy open string to recognize as it sits right at the bottom of the staff. D, going up stepwise, that has to be E and F, back to E, and then down to C, D, E, F, E, D, C, that's the C with the ledger line, open D, and then as I mentioned at the beginning of examining this particular piece, I'm going all the way down to this G here below the A string. There's the A, there's the G below the 2nd space. And so I've got a low G all the way down on the 6th string, and that is the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And then similar to the beginning at measure 13 here, E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C. Again, notice the ledger line putting me on the 5th string. D, E, D, C, C. All right, and I'll play this one time for you. I just check my tuning real quick here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. E, E, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2, F, G, G, F, E, D, C, C, D, E, D and 2 and 3, 4, D, D, E, C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, low G, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, C, C, D, E, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So I got a little off rhythm there on the low G, but I wanted to call out that it was the low G that I was playing there. So I'll stop this video here. There's your two ode to joys, one in the upper register and one in the middle and lower type register there. So try to do both those videos and practice them both to see the difference. Have a great day. See you soon.